Did you know that in the middle of the Langhe hills there is a strange castle where you could be invested as a Truffle knight? Hi, I'm Lawrence and I'm here to tell you many stories around the world from my human point of view. Before starting, help me to grow this project, snap me a like and subscribe. Okay, back to us. I was wandering as usual through the famous Langhe hills of Piedmont in northern Italy. I was looking for something strange to catch my attention, because that day didn't seem like the others. I would expected luxurious vineyards, breathtaking landscapes, light hills and gorgeous restaurants, but instead, no. That day was different in the end, particular. Turning my eyes on, I noticed that far away on the hill stood a strange structure, almost cubic, full of towers and turrets. In short, with an incredible mental effort, I understood that it was an ancient castle. I felt very curious, so I approached. I was in Grinzane Cavour near at Cuneo, and the one in front of me was not just any castle. Well, no, this is the manor of Camillo Benso, Count of Cavour, the famous statesman who lived in the 19th century, who contributed to the creation of the Kingdom of Italy. And in fact, his effigy is almost everywhere around the castle. The thing particular of this place is that it is possible to perceive more the entrepreneurial aspect of this historical character. From here, Cavour took care of these lands to improve wine production and therefore produce the beloved good wine of the Langhe. In fact, inside the castle there is a shop where you can buy typical local products, look, chestnuts and these hazelnuts and these torcetti, oh my god, and nougat, of course some delicious grape juice, oh my god, you can lose yourself here. But no, I'm a photographer, come on, I had to resist. Today, for me, only the noble art of exploration, okay? Okay, so soon as I arrived, I started walking around the castle to see every detail of every nook and cranny, looking for something, and in the end I even found the coat of arms of my future Kiva recorder. Sir Livingstone of the White Truffle. Sounds good, right? The castle gave me the impression of being a great construction, an epic monument to tasting and to the history and tradition behind these delicious typical products. But my point of view didn't satisfy me enough, so I took off on my faithful 4-helix puffin. Coming down from the clouds, I was still not satisfied, so I decided to take a stroll inside, and there I was, climbing up the narrow stairways and visiting those dark rooms full of informations and reproductions of how people used to live in this beautiful and ancient manor. Think that there is even a reproduction of the Count's bedroom. I don't know about you, but just looking at this room makes me very cold despite the gigantic fireplace. That day I discovered a beautiful little jewel, a castle that I highly recommended to visit and which is perfect for spending an afternoon lost in the midst of the beautiful Langhe hills, maybe why not, excellent for taking a walk to the vineyards. And while I was down there waiting for the sunset, my mind was catched by a flash of awareness. I understood something important, that is, that if one day you want to found a kingdom, always remember to have a castle on the hills where you can have a great dinner.